so much for downloading the latest episode of The Ugly Truth. Today, it is the Devil's Trifecta. That's right, Stephanie is sitting in with us again, and we are talking about animals, dental work, lizards, ants. There's a lot going on in this week's episode, but we think you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much for listening. Shop lipandclip.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
I love being a bitch, but I can't do this anymore.
Paula?
I'm embarrassed to poop in front of myself.
Stephanie?
We're not even intoxicated right now.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 456. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Thank God Stephanie redeemed us. Jesus Christ, that was horrible. I was totally off.
Because my teeth hurt, I feel like I'm talking with like an extra large tongue, so forgive me.
This is so weird. Okay, so before the show, we were having some very unusual discussions. I don't know how they come up, but the first thing is this. Welcome to The Ugly Truth. Stephanie is here with us, Paula, and me, Jamie. We're all together. The Uggs are together again. Silver lining of this pandemic is Stephanie gets to come and record with us, and it's our most favorite thing.
I love it. It's been so fun.
I do too. It goes by so fast. Our producer is struggling with it, but... Well, just because he's like, I don't want to cut anything, but we don't have a lot of server space. So it's like, we try to move swiftly through our topics. Okay. Anyway, strange. Life moves on no matter what is going on around us. We have this big, huge umbrella of this thing that the whole globe is going through. However, life still moves along at a swift pace. I had to take my sweet sunny boy, who's 13 years old, a Sheltie, to the vet yesterday because the night before I'm giving him his treat and he's got this thing and Malia and I both go, what's sticking out of his mouth? And so I look closer and I pull up his little gums and he's got one wiggly tooth hanging out of his mouth in the front, in the middle of his teeth. Aww. Like in the middle of his mouth.
Pluck it out.
Paula, no, you can't do that. Dog teeth are really big and long. That would have been brutal.
Yeah. Well, I just would have wiggled it to see like how pliable it was.
It's wiggling. So I immediately called the vet.
Just get a big wad of paper towels like the kids do and count to 2 and then pull it.
He's not a child. No.
What if it bleeds or something?
Oh my God. I can't.
It's bleed all the time.
Oh,
so anyway, the last time we had his teeth removed and had a cleaning and all that stuff, he came out of it combative. And so they had to resedate him and then have him slowly come out of it again.
Was it because he was blind?
Probably. But when they brought him to me, the nurse's assistant or whoever, the vet tech, came in and set him on the floor in front of me instead of handing him to me. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? This dog is on sedation and he's blind. Why would you set him on the floor? Now, she didn't throw him on the floor, but I was like, what the hell? And all I can think of is, oh, you must have been the one he attacked when he, his gums attacked you when he came out of surgery. So I picked him up.
Here's your animal.
So I picked him up and I left. And so when I saw the wiggly tooth, I was like, I immediately got anxious and I said I can't take him back. And so I took him we have a new puppy and we're taking her to the closest vet to us, which is a small private vet. And so I'm like, well, maybe I know they'll be better because I've taken my new dog to this place. So I called and I said, can you take him? And they're like, yeah, sure. So they got his records from the old vet. Now, because of the COVID thing, you pull up to the parking lot and they say, stop, give us a call. We'll come out and get your dog. And I was like, okay. Now, Sonny does not do well in the car anyway. I mean, one time we were driving him somewhere fun and he peed. Like, he was so scared. So,
he can't see and he can't smell anything in there.
Way before, when he was a baby, he hated it. And so Malia is with me, my daughter, and she's holding him. And he's all, he's sad. So the problem of not being able to take him in sucked. But the nurse comes out, full mask and gloves, and we open up the car door, and she's like, oh, my God, he's so precious. I can't even with this dog. And I said, he's blind and he's losing his hearing. She's like, no problem. So they took him in. The doctor calls me, and she's like, how long has he had cataracts? And I said, like 3 years. She goes, well, did the vet tell you why he had them? And I'm like, oh, my God, tell me that I could have had this fixed and I will kill myself.
Right.
And she's like, I said, well, they told me it was age-related. She goes, oh, okay, because, there are options. And I'm like, I don't even want to fucking hear it. Like, I don't want to hear that
Like,
he
is
got
it-
poor care. I'm mad now.
Well, can it get fixed now or?
Yeah, for $6,000.
Oh,
And the dog is less than a year away from death. So no, I'm not going to
Right.
do it. But
I get it.
and he's fine. I mean, he's really, so they said he's really healthy. His heart's great. He can totally handle an anesthesia. He does have the wiggly tooth, no abscesses, but he definitely needs a cleaning. And so they're going to do it on Monday. But it was like, how funny that last night Paula messages me and goes, I have a toothache. And I'm like, what? What is going on? So
No.
you poor
Well,
thing.
and not only that is that when you told me that you were waiting in the car because Sunny was at the vet. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, we have a drive-by blood draw for Bo on Monday because he's been on the insulin for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't like it. I feel bad.
Oh, is he sick of the shots?
Every night when I start walking towards him and I'm like, hi, Bo. And he looks at me, his ears go back, and he's just like, he's trying to be happy, but I can tell he just hates it. The prognosis is, he says it's manageable for,
A while.
yeah, for however long it is. But I mean, Australian Shepherd's lifespan, I think, is between 13 to 15 years, and Bo's going to be 12.
Okay, so he's coming up on the last hurrah.
Well, anyway, what I was gonna say is I used to give her a little thing of wet food, and while
then
she
do
was
it.
eating it, and I would pinch the back of her neck so it was raised off of her, and then I would just stick the little tiny needle in that pinched skin, and she didn't even feel it.
I always bring a bag of treats. So I put it in front of him. I give him one little treat, right before we start. Of course, it's a group effort because Pablo has to stand next to him and try and block me.
He's the support. He's the support animal.
He's the support animal.
He's the one that's gonna throw the spoon.
Pablo's always in there with
God,
his
that's
eyes
right.
blinking really fast, shaking, and I'm like, why are you even here?
God,
I mean, how
why
long
is
does it take
everything
you
so
to
dramatic in
do
your
it?
home?
I mean, it takes me like 5 seconds.
You know what? Even though Pablo's like scared and frightened, I think he's a narcissist, and so
Pablo?
if that's even everything's about him.
Yes, it is. Oh my God. Speaking of, I saw a dog carrier, like a baby Bjorn for Chihuahuas, and I almost thought about buying it for you.
Like it was raining really hard the other day and he had to go to the bathroom. So he like went outside, but then his tail like tucked under his butt and he tried to turn around and come back in. And I'm like, no, go potty. So I shut the door and locked it. He just stood out there in the rain staring inside the window. I'm like, you could have gone to the bathroom this whole time, you dummy. So eventually he wants to go out the front door where it's covered so he can pee in the bushes. And I'm just like, God, I'm like, you're so high maintenance.
Well, I don't know what the deal is with everyone's teeth, but it's insane. Hopefully, after we finish recording our show today, you will be able to get this rectified for yourself. Hopefully Sunny will survive the anesthesia. That was my biggest concern, really, is dogs surviving anesthetic, because when they're old, like she was like, even, look, we're going to do it. Obviously, we have to do it. He has this tooth hanging out. And I was going to tell you that it's like, as you suggested me ripping the loose tooth out, the doctor did not rip the loose tooth out because they're long. And so she just left it.
They're long and strong and down to get the friction on. So ladies, ladies,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Can't.
I always think of our sister when that song comes on.
Who?
Which one?
Allison.
Oh. Why?
Because the four of us went to Bobby McGee's once and we all went to go dancing. Allison was the only one getting picked up on it. The three of us were furious. And she's out there going, baby, get back. And I'm like, I hate you.
That was funny. Allison gets picked up on everything.
She does.
She's got that I don't know what it is.
No, you know what it is? It's the vacant look in her eyes. They're like, oh, she doesn't give a shit. Let's see if she'll do it. And she'll be like, yeah, sure.
No,
And she always wears her glasses. I don't know.
I was about to say that some guys like that kind of demure.
She does kind of have that, like, ditzy glasses, kind of like.
But she's so not.
She's like Alex Dunphy. She looks like Alex Dunphy.
She looks like a good person to roofie.
Yeah, I think that must be what it is, but it's really annoying. And in fact, the last time I went to Bobby McGee's and got asked to dance and the guy smiled, he had 3 total teeth. I was like, are you fucking kidding me with this?
No one could attract men any worse than me. So
Let's discuss. What was his name? Floppy? I can't remember.
swinging hair. I don't know.
I don't know what we called him.
But he was
Buffy,
gross.
Biffy,
But you
Biff.
know what? It just shows you that how intoxicated I get.
Oh my God.
Because I don't see it. I'm the next day. I'm like, wait, what?
Girl, what is this bank teller's card in my bra?
If any of us pull out a phone, she's like a freaking hawk, and she's like, "Don't you take a picture?"
Oh my God! Because why? Why would you want to?
Well, because we want to show you or show evidence. And she's just like, she can literally see it from like the back of her head. She'll turn around and like give you like dagger eyes.
We're going to get to this eventually. Jamie's going to eventually get to the topic, but talking about things you can convince men to do.
Oh my God.
Part of mine is going down that road.
Okay, so before we continue, more animal talk. I don't know how we got on the subject of reptiles. But you were telling us that Lauren has a snake, and then
she does.
I asked you about her bearded dragon that she used to have as a small child, and you said it died, and it escaped?
It escaped the aquarium that they had for it, and...
Was she an adult?
No.
Oh,
she was
okay.
like Jeff said, she was like 8.
Oh, okay,
9. She was really little, and...
Why does an 8-year-old need a bearded dragon?
It was for her father, for the most part. He lived vicariously through Lauren always.
Bearded dragons actually make really good pets.
They do.
They do, but they're gross, and I would never own one.
In a million years, they have long, gross nails. I don't want it.
So, and what's the purpose of owning a thing like that? And so anyway, it got out, and they looked for it, and they didn't find it because
they don't come when you call.
Well, right. And animals get weird when they're lost.
Do they even have ears?
Yes.
Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, like you make different sounds. Like you whistle for dogs, and then with the kitty, we're like, kitty, 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 kitty.
What do you do with a lizard? Here's a fly. Where is it? Spread a bunch of larvae on the floor. It'll come out.
You're like, zzz.
God.
So they found it dead.
Where was it?
It was seeking warmth, obviously, and so it had gone behind the refrigerator, probably trying to get warm.
Odor.
I keep throwing away the leftovers, but something still stinks in the refrigerator.
Oh my God. You know what? I remember the one time, I think we were kids when this happened. We were like, what is that smell? And Mom pulled the fridge out and there was a dead mouse back there.
I have the nose of a bloodhound. I swear to Christ.
I can smell death anywhere.
I went in the backyard and I'm like, something's dead back here. And we have a huge backyard.
You can smell it.
It's a quarter of an acre. Yeah. So, and Jerry's like, what? Oh,
yeah.
Typical. And so I'm like, no, there is. So finally I meandered around long enough and I found the teensiest little mouse in the grass, like a half a mile away from the door. But I could still smell that thing. Yes. It was all bloated and it was so gross.
Oh,
That's
God.
gross.
You know what?
I hate having that nose.
Here's what happens.
It comes in handy, but...
Do you really want to go there? Really?
No, it comes in handy for certain things.
No, you're just like, I hate having that nose. And I'm like, fuck you, your tiny nose.
You think you have a big nose, but you don't.
You don't have a big nose.
I don't understand you.
I have a funny story.
What?
Okay, you remember the show Frasier?
Yes.
Yes, I love that.
Okay,
do
for
too.
some reason, I can't remember why, but they had invited this couple over. I think they were, Roz was going to try and get pregnant, and so they were potential like sperm donors or something like that.
Oh.
So the husband and wife come over. They both have ginormous noses.
Oh,
So she's immediately like, oh, hell no.
So me, Ryan, Olivia, and Victor were all watching this episode. So the wife goes out to put her hand. She's like, hi, I'm Paula. Ryan's tried so hard not to laugh. And not because he thinks I have a big nose. He just knows how self-conscious I am. Immediately, I looked at all of them. And I'm like, don't you dare.
Did someone tell you that out of anger? Like, were you getting in a fight with someone?
I've been teased my whole life.
I literally have never thought you had a big nose ever.
I don't get
Well,
it.
and it's just exacerbated by the fact that I have no chin or neck or anything. I look like a worm with like
you do not look like a worm.
Paula, by
Stop.
the way, we all look exactly alike, so watch your tongue.
All right. So my point in all of this is this. You were going to tell us a disturbing lizard story.
Okay, so I had these friends, and they were a couple, and they said that they had this lizard. I don't know what kind it was. They went on vacation because they said you can leave lizards, for what? Because sometimes, like once you feed them,
they're good.
They don't eat for like a couple days or something
Reptiles
like that.
are like that in general.
Yes.
And so they came home and they went to go check on the lizard, and there was ants everywhere. And literally the ants had gone into its mouth and they were like coming out of like its butt.
Was it dead?
It was dead.
Oh, thank God. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this like a horror story?
The ants killed it.
The ants killed it?
How do you know the ants killed it? Maybe it died.
No, the ants literally
ants
like
kill lizards?
invaded it. Shit. Oh my God. A hair just fell on my face.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Scared me.
Oh my God.
I thought I had ants on my face.
Creepy.
Paula hates ants more than
Like,
anything.
Oh my God, Paula, I do
Weird.
too so bad, and I've been killing them at my house. Oh my God, I'm
Get pest control for God's sakes. Oh well, I
what
get
she
it.
just
money.
says.
Yeah.
And what's a lizard supposed to do when it's in a tiny, thing? It can't run away,
And how many ants could you possibly eat before you just give up? I mean,
they overtook it.
That's so
So-
sad.
were they fire ants?
They were just regular black ants.
No way. They had to have been something aggressive. Aggressive
Well,
ants will do that.
Ants are pretty aggressive. And
Fire ants will absolutely do that.
That's why I told you it was so disturbing. But that's
No,
the
I know,
thing.
but I
If you
wanted to
think
hear
about
it.
like society, like once like the populace realizes that they outnumber like the leaders,
Yes.
then they can like turn on them.
Hell
and
yeah.
So,
Happens
same
all
thing
the
with
time.
ants. Ants are just like, you know what? Fuck this lizard.
Thank God our children aren't smart enough to realize.
Oh, my kids would never, ever.
I always find it hysterical when a small child tries to slap you for the first time. I'm just like, it's so funny that you think that this is appropriate because you haven't learned yet.
yeah.
Because it's just
Yeah.
like, I have no, because we could, annihilate them and we don't. And that's how we teach them. But there is always a healthy fear. Like you grab their wrist, you're all, that hurts.
No, my favorite is when they think that it's a negotiation.
Oh,
like you're
yeah.
just like, okay,
this
Ryan,
is just a suggestion, okay?
I need you to go do the dishes right now, and he's just like, well, can I do them in like 10 minutes? I'm like,
Oh.
was that a question, or did I suggest that we could compromise on a time? I said no. Get your ass in the kitchen and do them now.
I know. It was funny. I was thinking about you today and I was like, or yesterday you were saying we have schedules. We are getting organized. You were doing all this stuff
Oh
because
my
you've had it with the
God.
chaos. And I'm like, well, good for you. I was legit happy for you because what happens is there comes a time when things kind of go to hell in a handbasket at home because you are sick of nagging. You don't want to nag. You don't want to be the asshole mother anymore. And so you're just like, you know what? Let it all race to high heaven. I don't even give a shit anymore. So there's no clean clothes, no dishes.
But you do give a shit because when you realize nobody does a fucking
Well, that's the
thing.
thing. But what happens is you let it go for a while because you're like, I can't be a bitch even one more second.
Right.
Like,
Well,
and
it's
I love being a bitch, but I can't do this anymore.
Well, it's just like your brain loses capacity to
Yeah,
remember
it's
every single
exhausting.
thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm like, do I literally have to remember every single thing? Like I told you guys about the trash cans.
Of course.
I'm like, I can't remember to remind you to take the cans down.
Right.
I literally had to call the trash company to have them come down to take the trash on an off day. Because we were so overloaded because they missed it twice.
Oh, no.
Oh, I would have someone's head.
I'd be mad.
That'd be.
Well, and of course, eventually it's just like, well, are you trying to start a fight? And I'm like,
Yeah, you're not allowed to be mean.
I just
and
do it
frustrated.
myself, and then that
Yeah.
pisses me off more. But
Yeah, of course. Okay, so moving on to something a little bit
Yeah.
funnier. There are so many stories that Stephanie and I share because the two of us were the same. We were in the 21 plus age together before anybody else was. And we did a lot of truly immoral, unethical things.
did you just say coochie?
Truly.
Oh, okay. I thought
And-
it sounded like coochie first.
although you say we were immoral, but I just find it to be pretty typical behavior of kids in their early 20s. That
Oh,
are
I
just
don't
becoming
know.
Of age.
I there are a few instances where I go, wow, we didn't get killed or die,
Yeah.
and we didn't get in trouble or get arrested, and so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I
Oh
mean,
my God, we
they're
were just talking about that the other night. Actually, I shouldn't confess this. Never mind.
okay.
Wait.
What, publicly?
Well, I don't want people to
I can't
think
imagine
poorly
there's
of me.
anything you've done that I either wasn't aware of already or that is any worse than
Or you just don't want to mention it publicly. That's fine. There's a lot of, Stephanie and I have a lot of that stuff, whether she
Yeah.
doesn't remember or not.
It was breaking a law, and I
Breaking the
think-
law,
I
breaking
don't know
the
if it's
law.
a felony or a misdemeanor, but
Did it involve driving under the influence?
perhaps.
I've done that.
Well, depending on how intoxicated you were, then it's
Well, that's
most
the
likely
thing
a
is
felony.
that it's probably like
felonious.
I
fellatio. What?
I said I
I said felonious and she said fellatio.
Oh, fellatio?
'Cause
What?
She's like, wait,
because
what?
I've got dick on the brain constantly.
I have
Ew.
yes.
Ew.
You don't
God,
like
you know what?
penis?
I like
Fuck
sex,
you
but I don't like
both.
specifically thinking about dick. There's nothing pleasant about that.
You know what? A man could put his hand on my shoulder, and I probably have multiple orgasms right now.
Funny. All right. Anyway, so as I was talking to Stephanie, I'm like, do you know how many times we've convinced men of the most ridiculous lies on the planet in our lives? I mean, so many dumb things. Like, for example, this is minor, but before I had children, there was a guy that I was dating. I literally cannot remember him. I don't know who he was or what his name was, but I remember specifically convincing him I was a virgin.
Oh, God.
And he believed it.
Why?
I don't know. It wasn't for my pleasure. It wasn't like I cared either way, but he's like, are you a virgin? I'm like, do you think I'm a virgin? He's like, I think you are. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm a virgin. Absolutely. He's like, you are? I'm like, absolutely. I've never had sex before. And he's like, wow, this is so interesting.
What an idiot.
Well, aren't most men idiots?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
that's my
yeah,
point.
Like, oh my God. How dumb can you be?
Pretty
Yeah,
dumb.
they're pretty stupid. You know what? It's kind of funny, like when you're on Reddit or like some of these groups on Facebook, and you talk to like younger guys, and they talk about the girls they're dating.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. I'm like, I don't remember being so like.
Stupid.
You know, like a dead
were.
fish. No. I don't remember being like such a dead fish and so inactive in sex, you know?
You were married, so let's be real. You got married like the second you were
But
of
I'm
age.
just
That's
saying,
true.
like, the 20-year-old girls, like, they don't do anything.
That's because they don't know how to have sex yet.
Okay, and that's not true, by the way. I was having amazing
Me
sex
too.
in my 20s.
Oh my God, I was having
okay,
insane
but I
sex.
think we're the exception. I think a lot of girls
I don't think so.
in their
I don't know.
in their 20s now, it's a common thread. Like, they're not active.
That's because most people do not start having really good sex until they're a little bit older. I
Yeah.
mean, unless you're in a really good relationship where you feel free.
Exactly.
When I lost my virginity, the first 2 times was not so good, but after that, I was like, I was unleashed.
A wild woman.
I was a beast unleashed, and he couldn't keep up with me.
A beast.
Anyway, okay, so Stephanie,
Yes.
okay, now Paula was trying to tell me, was it poo or fart?
Both.
Okay, so
I thought it was fart.
Primarily both, but I have
explain.
played, it depends on, so
Explain.
pretty much.
Now,
when
was it just Joel? I thought it was Chris Cubby,
Yeah.
too.
No, he was smarter
Oh, okay.
than that.
okay, please
Yeah,
tell the
he
story because
was.
I will tell you my participation in this once you tell the story.
So I don't, for the way we were raised, everything that was even remotely, even if it was natural, was shameful.
Yeah.
So
It was. God forbid if you exit the bathroom and there was an odor. It's just like, good God,
Right?
turn the fan
Mom
on,
was like,
shut
if you
the door,
have to
open the window.
if you have to toot, you go in the bathroom. So, I mean, I can't tell you how many times
yeah.
somebody went running by, going in the bathroom and shutting the door.
Yeah.
So when I got to an age where I was out of the house, I was like, okay, we don't do that. You know,
Right,
and
you were primed.
we don't do that. We don't talk about it. And I would never do that because that is disgusting and you
No.
can't look at me like that.
That's right.
So I had convinced my then husband that women did not do those things until they were of 40 years old.
That is hilarious.
And he was like, you are a liar. But I could see the wheels spinning in his head.
He was getting doubtful because he trusted you so completely.
Well, you know
and
what?
he
He
was-
probably was thinking, like, I've never seen her do it.
He's
before.
starting
I've
to,
never
like,
heard
exactly.
her
Yes,
do
the
it.
That's what it
wheels are
was.
turning.
That's what it was. He had one other serious relationship, sort of, but even then, I don't think they lived together.
Right.
So I was the first one, and I think he was thinking like, "Wow, I don't think I've ever seen any of my girlfriends
Or
ever
my
do
mother,
that." Or my mother,
my sister.
who was very proper from the West, from the
Midwest.
Midwest. Yeah,
And then, so they're having this, I'm sure this discussion happened many occasions.
It did. It went on. It
And
took
so
a while.
we were at Mom's house, and for whatever reason, God forbid, we were all there together, probably to get
Back
literature.
then, we used to do.
And so we were all sitting
We used to
around.
do that.
And Joel goes, I'm going to ask your sister. And I'm like, what? This is how ride or die we are, by the way. We will do anything for each other.
We're like telepathic. We're like,
Well,
in
not
the
only
dark
that, but
doing,
I
like,
will-
It comes very
Morse
natural to
code
lie.
on each other's hands.
So Joel goes, Joel goes, Jamie, is it true that women don't poop or fart until they're 40? And I went, absolutely, Joel.
Yeah.
I'm like, Joel, yes. And I mean, I was so serious. I was like, Joel, absolutely. It's
I'd be
something
like, "You
that's good
didn't
about
know
being a
that?"
woman. Yeah, I go, it's true. I go, why did Stephanie tell you that? He goes, yes. I'm like, well, she just told you. And it was like, he believed.
I'd be like, I'm surprised your mother didn't explain that to
He
you.
believed. And Stephanie goes, see, Joel, I told you.
Right?
And how long was he believe that?
Practically perfect in every way.
It was hilarious. He goes, well, Lauren does does it. I'm like, well, she hasn't hit puberty yet.
She's a baby, yeah.
Oh my God. That is so funny.
He believed
Which
it.
is so funny because his mother was a nurse.
I know. He just, you know what? You guys smoked so much pot back then. That had to be it.
So we were just very, very young and naive.
That is hilarious. Okay, so was there another one you wanted to say? You said you convinced someone of something.
No, oh God, I've convinced many people of many things.
Yes.
But I
So I have a question. I'm positive none of us are like this, but I don't
What?
get the couples that like poop and pee in front of each other.
Oh,
okay,
never.
Oh
I'll
my
pee
God.
in front of someone, but I could never.
No.
I just don't even know why someone would do that.
I don't know, and I don't buy the bullshit. Like, we're so comfortable together. Like,
Yes.
we don't care anymore. I'm like, then you're disgusting.
Well, I mean, can we have a little mystery in our lives, please?
Thank you.
I mean, I'm embarrassed to poop in front of myself.
Paula, if I have to,
Sometimes I have to plug my own ears.
I'm like a 10 flusher person.
if I have to defecate, I am a mile away from Daryl at all times, and I have the water running.
You're like Paul.
And I am like as fast as human. Oh, please. Oh, I'm the one. I'm the one that has a problem. I'm the one.
I have to
you
have
plug
the
your
fan
ears.
on.
You plug your
You plug your ears, Paula.
Okay, if the fan is on, that's only if I have like diarrhea or something.
Okay,
like
first
that.
of all,
actually, it's better if I have diarrhea because then I have no control.
I don't
just
need the
happens.
fan, okay? I do not need the fan.
I use the blow dryer. It works very well. Whee! It's loud.
Yeah.
And it blows the air around.
God. At least, and why do you meant, okay, so Tyler has a fart wizard in his bathroom.
What's that?
It's a 6-inch tall figurine that holds incense. And when he goes to the bathroom, he lights the wizard.
Well, then though.
He doesn't care. He's a boy.
I was going to say it's an automatic trigger. Like,
doesn't
the
care.
incense is burning.
If you wash your hands afterwards with nice soap, that usually takes care of everything. I mean,
That's
if your
true.
poop smells that bad, go see a doctor.
For God's sake.
Or change your eating habits. You're obviously eating gross.
Yes.
Mark used to tell me that he's like, I don't know why people have such an issue with taking a crap. He goes, when you're an alcoholic, it smells like melon. What? He's like, because I metabolize so much sugar that's what my
my
shit smells
God.
like.
Yeah,
I'm like,
when
I
you're
don't
an
wanna find out.
alcoholic, it comes out like toothpaste too.
Gross.
Really?
Every time I drink alcohol, I get the alcohol shits. Yeah. It upsets my
yeah.
I
stomach.
suppose that's true.
One time I got so drunk in Tahoe that I almost didn't make it to the bathroom.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, it was bad. That was it. One time I was like, I'm like, what's happening to my
So
body?
for the rest of your life, I'm going to bring that up every single time we talk about drinking. I'm be like, remember the time that you almost shit your pants?
I was poking at the fireplace. I was like squatting down and I thought I had to I was home alone. Let me preface this. I was home alone. And I was poking at the fireplace and I thought I had to pass gas.
funny, sorry.
And then I was just like, oh boy,
say it.
that was, I
No, you know what?
Did
underestimated.
you shart?
I did. I underestimated what that was.
Underestimated the...
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I've not done
Okay,
that.
I had an upset stomach, so they were like kind of like the hot, quiet ones, that
God.
smelled really bad.
You always have an upset stomach. You have celiac disease.
I know.
What did you do? Lick a ice cream and then suddenly you
She thought about it. She thought about some bread.
I probably licked a hamburger bun.
I have to tell you, there were times when I was younger where I literally would shit my pants and not even mean to. Like, legit.
We legit held it.
I mean,
it was diarrhea.
I didn't want to leave the bedroom, so I pooped on the floor and then I put it in the hamper.
What the fuck?
Why didn't you just throw it away?
And you guys bring up me eating a piece of ahi
what?
in the
I
car?
I was so
Are
scared.
you kidding me?
I was so scared to leave the
We're not
bedroom
even
or something like that.
intoxicated right now. We're like sober. I have never heard this.
Do you remember?
Who was the ones that pooped on the side of the house and Dad found you?
Or me and Stephanie.
No, we were pooping in a hole in the backyard.
We were digging holes in the backyard because we were playing Little House on the Prairie.
We didn't want to come inside.
And we were having fun, and we didn't want to come inside, and so we were holding it, and for whatever reason, we both had to crap, and so we dug holes,
I know, it's
pooped
not
in the
weird.
yard. We were pooping at the same time, and Dad goes, "What the hell is going on out here?"
Because we had a raised deck, like a really high deck, and he was looking over the edge of the
my
balcony,
God.
like, 10 feet down where we were.
When he came over, he was trying so hard not to laugh. He's like, what are you doing?
Oh, well, at least he had a good sense of humor about it.
Oh, well, I mean, can you imagine seeing your two little girls with their pants down over a hole in the backyard?
Pooping, and then he's like, get in the house.
Oh, my God.
Well, at least it was him and not mom. She was
She found out. Of course, she was home. Yeah.
Furious. She goes, we're going to spank you. I'm like, why? I was like, we didn't get spanked.
No, they didn't.
But they were just, they were hysterical. You know what? It is no wonder our parents are both literally insane. They are criminally insane.
We've already decided mom has no sense of humor, so she was not hysterical. She was just like, what did they watch? Where did they get that idea?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She's probably like, who are they hanging out with? Where did they learn that?
Who are the bad association?
Well, I would like to know if I'm the only married person, and I've never been single for a very long time either. So, but if I'm the only married person who literally has two lives, like I have my married life,
yes,
and then I have my life with.
Are you a mistress?
Yes.
No,
your life with yourself, like masturbation.
No, like
yes.
Like when I'm not at home, either when I'm at work or whatever, I'm not a totally different person, but I just have a different life. Like,
well, you just yes,
and it's a life that I don't necessarily share at home. Pieces of it I do.
Yes, I do understand, and yes, because when Daryl, he obviously not right now, but he travels like 2 weeks a month. And I don't hate it.
Right.
And it's not that I don't miss him. I do,
of course.
all that stuff. But my DNA changes. I morph into a different person.
Right.
I don't eat. I eat differently.
Me too.
My entertainment is different.
Right.
The way I deal with the children is different. I mean, and it's not bad different or good different. It's just different.
And that's what I mean. I'm like not having an affair different.
No.
I'm just saying, like I know different people and I go different places and I'm different.
What's interesting is that Daryl is jealous of that woman because he's like,
oh, that woman?
Yeah.
Oh, because she gets sparkle guy and I get take home guy?
Yes, exactly.
That's weird. No, I'm pretty transparent. I am who I am.
You are who you are. Well, that's okay.
I mean, did you guys watch the videos of me sucking helium and then
I did see that.
I did. And it reminded me of when we were little and how we used to do it all the time. And I love it.
It was literally like 12:30 at night. Olivia, I had bought her this balloon for like $10 and it was ginormous. And I'm just like, I'm going to get this for Olivia. And the first thing when I walk in the house, she's like, can we helium it? And I'm like, no! I'm like, I just bought it. Play with it. And she's like,
play with the unicorn balloon, please.
Because I still think she's 4 years old, and
right.
That reminded me, when I saw that, it reminded me of how I, at some point, and I don't remember, I used to have a Dr. Ruth Westheimer impersonation.
Wait,
Don't
what?
get me started. It's like my Jim Carrey impersonation.
Oh my God. We all have some. Yes. You know who Dr. Ruth is, right?
Wait, wasn't she the one that talked about sex? Yeah.
She's this teeny tiny German doctor. And she was the first person in the United States to publicly discuss how sex is healthy, sex is not dirty, blah, blah, blah.
Did she have a radio show?
She had a radio show. She had a TV show, everything. And it was always late at night. And I would watch it because I had horrific insomnia, which I've discussed before as a kid. And so I would watch it. And I was always so entranced with her. It wasn't like I never really thought sex was dirty. I just didn't talk about it around our family because our parents were very like, sex is bad, me. But I just remember going, God, I'm so enthralled by this woman and her outward, like and this is not a woman who you would think would be like, sex is so good for everyone. You should all be having sex.
Right?
Because she's this teeny grandma.
Yeah, she was old.
So I perfected it by myself for years when I was a child. I loved it. And I haven't tried it, but I'm going to try it right now. Ready?
Oh my God, do it. I'm going to laugh already.
Shut up. Because I'm going to make you do your Jim Carrey fireman in a minute.
But it's only funny when you can see it.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Teeth.
Yeah, but it sounds good when you do it though. Okay. Let me see if I can do it. It's been so long. It's like, this is Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Almost. It's a little rusty. I'll have to work on it.
Let me tell you something. Sorry. That's it. That's all.
But you didn't push your lips in, but it works pretty good.
I know.
Pretty good.
That's so funny.
Do you not have any, Paula? Nah.
If I did, I couldn't do it right now. My mouth hurts.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, not from anything fun.
No.
Well, believe me, not everybody assumes that your mouth hurts for that reason.
I saw a meme the other day. Someone wrote in rose petals on a bed, bruised my esophagus, and I'm just like, I'm like,
Whoa.
I wish.
I would never request that.
Oh, I would. I'd be laying in those rose petals naked, and I'm like, do it.
Paula, you have to watch Tom Segura Ball Hog. I'm just going to remind you again. You need to watch it. You will
Okay.
love him. He's so funny. Anyway, and you'll just like his raunchy humor is my
If
point.
it's gonna make me horny, I don't want to watch it.
No, not at all. But he's
Okay.
really funny. You'll love him. Anyway, I have an ugly and awkward moment of the week. Do any of you have ugly and awkward
I
moments
thought
of the
we
week?
were doing those.
No, I have. Well, we didn't last week because nobody had one,
Actually,
but I have one.
I do.
Okay, so we have. So let's do our ugly and awkward moments of the week. Paula, go ahead.
Okay, so obviously I'm beyond stir crazy. I'm just crazy, and so I'm just Ryan and I went to Bel Air the other night, and we were just posing with whatever products we could find to make fun of things. And I don't know if you guys saw the pictures, but
I did.
Saw them,
and
yes.
so we were just being nuts. So we went. I had to get eggs, and so we went to the egg section. So I went running up and I stomped, and I'm like, "Eggs! It's what's for dinner." And
Oh my God, Paula.
there was a gentleman standing over there. And he just kind of, Ryan says he kind of like looked over his shoulder and like glanced at me in horror, kind of like, what the fuck, And of
Yeah.
course, I knew he was there, but I'm just like, yeah, the fuck, I don't care.
If I was Ryan, I'd be like, oh, sorry, my mom has Tourette's.
I'm sorry, my mother's very ill.
She's special.
They just, I know, right? And they're just used to me. And, but you know what? That was the same night I recited, what is it, LaCroix, those drinks? They have like a whole
LaCroix.
fucking poem on there. I didn't know
What?
that.
I didn't know that.
They have a whole love story on there about
on
how
the
they
box?
came about. Yeah. So I recited
drink
it
that
to
stuff.
Ryan in the aisle, like Shakespeare style. I'm like, the prince of la 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 la. But anyway.
Paula, you are nuts. You're going insane.
That is ugly and awkward, though.
I've
It
been
is ugly and
home
awkward.
for
Mostly ugly.
7 weeks now.
Somewhat
I
awkward.
know.
And when
you're
you
so-
guys
you're so
talk
far ahead
about
of it.
when you guys talk about your separate person, I'm just like, I have no way to be separate from anyone.
Yeah, but you've always been that way. The thing about you and your relationships that you've had is one thing I will give you credit for is that you are
One
always...
thing.
Well, there are some things that, hey, we could pick apart each other's
Oh, for
relationships
sure.
forever.
Please, I don't even want to go there.
But no, what I was going to say is one thing I've always envied about you is that you never try to hide who you really are.
It's true.
You're
You are
very,
absolutely
very transparent. No
super
matter who you're with.
authentic.
Yeah, and I have not always been able to do that. I have to put on a somewhat of a persona depending.
Initially,
It's funny you say that because Olivia, she's super like, I don't want to say weird, but she's very like funny and silly
Yeah.
and goofy. And she said she was worried, and I'm like, what are you worried about? She's like, I'm just so goofy. She's like, I'm just afraid no boy's gonna like me.
oh,
please.
God, I love
And
her.
I said, Olivia, I've been married twice and I've had a ton of boyfriends. And I said, they will like you because you're so different than most of the
Totally.
girls.
It's true.
And I
And
said,
funny.
you'll be so interesting that they'll be like, I have never met someone like you.
Indeed.
And
That's
so they'll just be so enchanted. Trust me.
so
you will
true.
not have a problem. And I said,
She's having no
plus-
problem.
I said,
Yeah,
plus with
and
those
she's adorable.
giant
Yeah.
blue eyes, I'm like, you will just have them dazzled. Trust me. You will
Right.
break
She's gonna
many
be.
hearts.
Oh my God, it's so sweet that she is worried that being goofy is a bad thing, but it is so not.
Well, that's
bad.
because she's little. So my ugly and awkward
Yes.
moment is not as nearly as dramatic. It's just something that you guys will relate to. I don't know if Jamie's noticed, but I have this scab on my lip.
Well, I thought it was a herp.
Well, we always
I thought it was a herpy.
we always assume that one another has some kind of cold sore or fever blister or whatever, but that's actually not the case.
Oh.
So because we are notorious pickers, which
Oh my
I am
God.
as
Okay.
well.
I have to share after this. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, this is really quick, and
Yes.
it's actually kind of stupid.
Say.
But so this thing, I don't know if it's because I've been inside my house for so long, but my skin is really, really dry
Oh,
for
me
some
too.
reason.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I don't know. And so I have lotioned everything else, but apparently I've been neglecting my lips because they got really dry. Or maybe it's because I haven't been wearing lip gloss and lipstick every single day like I normally do when I'm working.
My lips hurt real bad. Use the chapstick at the nurse's office.
So I have been feeling this thing on my lip with my tongue, and I, of course, obsessively touch it.
Always.
And so last night I was sitting on the couch, and it just got to the point where I'm like, okay, I can feel it, like it's wanting to come off, but I just couldn't wait.
Oh, the scab.
So
Could you
I
just
pulled
pop
it.
it or something?
No, it's not even a pop thing. It's like you know when your lips crack from being dry?
Yes.
Get a safety pin or a needle and like
I didn't need to.
You just rip that shit off?
Yes, and it
Did it hurt real bad?
and I was sitting on the couch next to Jerry, which doesn't happen very often.
Was there fresh skin attached at the back?
Yes.
That's the problem. Is there was
And I literally wiggled. I was
raw area like at the bottom.
So I did a little shimmy in my seat. Oh my God, it hurt. It hurt like when you squeeze a nose zit. I mean, it hurt so bad that it literally, I wanted to die.
So
my eyes watered. I was like, okay, I wasn't prepared for that.
Oh no, and you gush blood too.
Yes,
of course.
I immediately started bleeding. So I got up and excused myself, but I know he looked at me like, what is wrong with you? Because I'm all, nothing. Never mind. Yeah, he didn't know because it wasn't like an obvious thing,
God.
So anyway, that was pretty awkward.
That is so funny.
That's
Okay, well
funny.
here's my awkward moment, and then Paul, you can share your story.
Okay.
So Tuesday, when Stephanie came over to record the show, I had purchased the night before some dip and some chips and stuff because I know Stephanie likes to snack.
Oh, God.
And so we were talking, and we'd also had some champagne.
Just a little.
Yeah, it hit me really hard for some reason, though.
Not me.
And so I know, I don't know why it hit. And I told Daryl, I'm like,
Because
I don't
she's a
understand.
lush.
I am a lush.
Well, I mean, I can usually drink a whole bottle of champagne and feel real good, but not feel drunk. We had 2 glasses, and I was like, what is wrong with me? I'm so dizzy.
You know what? I only had 1. Maybe that's why.
Maybe. And so we're talking, and it was nothing serious. We were just like, whoa, 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 talking. And then all of a sudden, this little crumb of Triscuit leapt out of my mouth.
Oh my God.
And landed in the dip,
We think.
pretty sure. And
We couldn't find it.
So we're standing next to each other, and we both I know we have to acknowledge it because
We had to.
Who we are. And Stephanie goes, well, that's the end of that. You can have it. And I'm like, no, it's going in the garbage. They ended up having to throw away the whole thing because
No, we were going to throw it away.
Minuscule piece of a chip.
We were going to throw it away. And then Daryl comes out like half an hour later and he starts eating it.
We're like, okay.
We both look at it.
No, you didn't stop him?
I started to say something like, I'm like, well, it doesn't matter anyway. Because even if I would have told him, he would have kept eating it.
He's like, whoa.
Okay,
He's the type.
but if he's going to eat it,
type. I love your spittle.
He
He is.
Did you
know
at least
he
make him
would.
take it to another room?
No, we went to the backyard.
it was
but
funny. No,
it was really funny. I'm just like, okay, well, there's my and then Stephanie messages me later. She goes, well, there's your awkward moment. I'm like, yeah, thanks for the cruel reminder. I know.
Even though we've all because we always have excess saliva.
It's so true.
And we're all premenstrual, and that's when mine gets really bad.
It's bad.
It's like I'm pregnant. It's horrible. I hate it. I'm like,
you're right. That is true. Okay, so what's
It's
your
a hormonal thing.
What's your scabbing story,
Okay,
Paula? Because
so-
I know it has something to do with
scared.
picking.
I told you I have this like 20 times magnified mirror. And
scary.
I have one of those pimple
one.
popping tools. I have.
Oh, you have an extractor?
I have an extractor. I have
She probably has a whole
tweezers.
kit instead of a heroin kit. Paula
I
has a
have
zip kit.
tweezers, and then I have now added a safety pin. And so at this point, I look
sterilize it?
like I'm on meth. And so
Paula.
Stop it.
last night I put everything in a plastic
bag?
baggie.
No.
And I put it on Victor's bed. And when he got home, I said, "Save me from myself." And
Take these
so
from me.
He's somewhere.
he came back out. He handed me the plastic bag, and I'm just like, "You don't need the bag." He's like, "No." He's like, "Everything is in a different location." He's like, "You will not
so
find
you can't
them."
locate the bag. Oh, that's smart, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
today I was in his room searching for that damn
Oh my God, Paula Green.
God.
because I can get more safety pins, but I need the mirror.
Oh no, that I have that mirror, and let me tell you something. When you want to emotionally cut, just go ahead, look
my
in there, and go,
God.
"What has happened to me?"
You know what?
Because the ones
my
I
worst
picked at
nightmare-
yesterday are ripe for the harvest.
My worst nightmare is coming true. I've been having so many skin issues lately, and if we weren't on a freaking lockdown right now, I'd probably go to a dermatologist because I've just been battling my skin. And what's the most... not everybody, we dread nose zits. Like, of all the zits you could get on your face, getting one on your nose
It's
to me is
it's
the worst, right? Well, for some strange reason, my body has decided to completely
Betray you.
betray me. And you're like, every zit you ever thought you didn't want is going to your nose. It's
And
going
that's
on
where it
your
will
nostril.
be.
It's on the tip. It's everywhere. And I'm like, kill me. I'm like, I want to die.
The problem I'm having is I have this reoccurring pimple right between my boobs that will not
that
go
too.
away.
Oh, that's weird.
And I
It's
keep
the bra
popping
you're wearing,
it. I keep putting like, Clearasil on it or whatever, and it just like it'll go away, but it turns into like a little brown spot, but then it'll come back. And then the other thing is
Now
I
it's
don't
because
know
the pore's
why.
big.
Probably. I have back knee. Not bad.
What?
But I have acne on my back.
You need a loofah.
I have
I have a loofah, but I think what it is because I take a certain medication that can cause a rash.
to loofah
And
my
I
stretch
think
marks.
that the rash causes some of the acne because
Probably.
it clogs up the pores. And or actually because the rash it does something to the pores, because I also have all these bumps on the back of my arms.
It sounds like you're unbalanced right now. Like
yeah, you're chemically unbalanced. You
Yeah.
need to find it. You need to find a
Seriously.
way to cleanse.
It's your tooth. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it could
not
be your
my
tooth,
tooth.
Paula.
No, this has been going on for a long time. So I'm thinking, okay, so
Yeah.
let's say I do get the opportunity to have sex with someone. I look disgusting.
You're like a little
Like,
troll.
if it
that's
was
all.
doggy style, he's just going to be looking at my pimples.
Ew.
God. Weren't we just talking about the fact that men don't notice anything when
They
they're
care
having
not.
sex?
Hey, you could be one of those really insecure fat men and just wear a shirt. They don't care.
I dated someone like that.
I know. That's
And he
what I'm
wouldn't do
saying.
it missionary either. I don't know why.
Oh my
Got some
God.
weird
He has a lot of
hang-up.
problems.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, our show has come to an end. For
Yeah.
another day. Hopefully, Stephanie can join us again. But if not, we will definitely make sure we can get her in, though, because this has been really fun.
It has been fun. So
Yes.
everyone continue to shop Amazon and then continue to shop Lip and Clip. And that's all I've got because my mouth hurts. And
Okay.
we will see you next time. Have a great stay at home.
It's
and
Easter weekend.
Oh, yeah, it's Easter Sunday when this drops. So, bok bok.
Happy Easter.
All right, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.